so that's going to go to my point now. And then this is what I'm
Yeah.
going to say really quick. I think, and I'll say it out loud, I think the official world golf ranking is the biggest sham on the
Yeah,
planet.
we've talked
I
about
think
this.
it's not
Yeah.
representative of anything that matters. Like, is Scotty Scheffler the number one player in the world? Hands down, no one. Like, just using your eyeballs, you know it, right? You can flip on a television. Is Russell
See,
Henley the third best player in the world? John Rahm's not even in like the top 10 or top 20. John
so
Rahm's the
here's
second
okay.
best player in the world by hands down number 2 player in the world.
Extremely hot take, but I firmly do believe this. I don't think Scotty Scheffler is world number one if Rahm doesn't leave the PGA Tour. Because and let me clarify this statement. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Rahm Rahm feeds off of the idea that people think they can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And for Scotty to do what he did, like especially the 6 in a row, that doesn't happen if John Rahm is against him.
No.
It just doesn't. It doesn't
No.
happen. And I think that the points lead that Rahm had on Scotty when he left the PGA Tour never gets caught up to and then surpassed in the amount that it has been at this
Right.
point. I just don't think it happens.
Okay, episode 305er of Fully Equipped Podcast. We are here with special guests today. We have Maddie McClurg, golf.com instruction, soon to be gearhead guru, if I have my way with her. Maddie, how are you? I'm going to ignore the other guy in the screen for now and just talk to Maddie for a second. Maddie, how are you? What's happening?
Doing well. We're out at Jake and I are out at Indian Wells Resort for the Epson Tour Championship, and it
Okay.
is a beautiful day in California. We got a lot of sun today, so it's been pretty good. Yeah.
So vibes are high.
Yeah, vibes are very high.
Well, I saw the
Very.
first video that Jake put out on his made for the range video. That fitting video looked phenomenal. So that was I'm already
It's
seeing
fun.
the fruits of your labor, which has been nice.
Yeah, he has some good rapport with the women on the tour. A lot of them see him coming and they want him to take a look at their bag and tell them what they could do better.
They
It's
want
very
the scoop.
fun.
Okay, young Jake. Now the
They
floor
do.
is yours. What's give me the vibe. How did Maddie do out there today?
Maddie's terrific. And everybody loves her so far. People have asked, like, the cool thing has been people have been asking like what we're doing, and also we've had a bunch of players that have walked up and asked to participate, like they want to be involved, they want to do stuff, which is super cool. But no, Maddie's a rock star. We knew she was. She's gonna do great in this master plan that we have for female golf equipment. We talked about this last week on the pod. Like, first off, it's phenomenal to have any player trust you in any shape or form to work with them on stuff that matters a lot to their game. Like, you know, Letitia, so since she put that driver in at South Bend, and her and I talked about this a lot, and like she was so nice to me about it. Her driving stats, and her caddy was like, he came over to me and told me right away, but her driving stats have been it's 12 yards of average distance higher, and then it was like 14.7% more fairways in regulation. And her caddy is obsessed with it. She was super happy, but she texted me every damn week and she was like, I love it, but I think it's a little high. I love it, but I think it's going a little high. I love it, but I think it's a little high. And I'm like, okay, so I need to figure out how to bring this ball down 10 feet and keep every other number the same. So it took a little bit of work. We tried a couple heads even. The Callaway guys are out. Bjorn is out here this week, and he helped out a little bit, supplied us with some new weights. And then we dialed in that 3-wood, which you saw on the Instagram upload from today. And we just had a blast. She's fun. She's a tough cookie to get trust with. I've heard that from a couple people. Like, I've had a couple people that were like, you're just like doing that with her and everything's fine? And I'm like, yeah, so far so good. But my first interaction with her was 22 yards of carry on her driver, so I think that helped.
Okay, so obviously a lot of learnings. This is the cool thing about what you guys are doing from where I sit. One, there's two things going on here. One, for the normal golfer, literally anybody that's not on tour or that's aspiring to be on tour, the best players to watch in the world are girls LPGA Golf and Epson Tour and the Champions Tour. Those are the best tours to watch because they actually play the golf course as it was designed. So if there's a dog
100%.
leg, they hit it around the dog leg. If there's bunkers, they hit it around the bunkers. There's no forced carries. There's none of that stuff. It's like they play golf. Where I always said, like, the PGA Tour is kind of like WWF wrestling, and Champions Tour and LPGA is more tactician, more Floyd Mayweather, and they navigate the way around, and it's not a bunch of hammers. It's just they're playing golf. So I think for what we want to do with Maddie, and we're speaking about her behind her back in front of her face, is we have this grand vision, which I told you about early on, Maddie, about by the end of next year making you into a bona fide person that an LPGA person could call you and go, hey, my wedge is doing this, like, what do you think? And you can give them some feedback. Or or even a new golfer going, I want to go buy a set of clubs, where should I be looking, to give you that kind of knowledge. Because I'm of the opinion that the first girl that becomes a Johnny Wunder, a Jake Morrow, an Ian Fraser, like the first girl that does that's good on camera, that can cook, will rule the world. So
be remarkably popular.
And that hopefully puts me quickly out of a job, and that would make me very, very happy, in the way that I know that the game and the equipment space is growing into new demographics, which is right now it's very dude heavy, when we need some women in there to show their knowledge. So I'm happy that you're there. It's right on line with my plan and Jake's plan, and I think you're going to do great. So
yeah, we did a really cool video today with Riley Smythe, and I think it was, so Maddie and I both joined in on it, which was cool because there was, like, Maddie had a little bit of instruction tips in there, or like connections, and then I had some very specific gear connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that moving forward is going to be a cool format until we can kind of hand some of that off, because we've been like 60-40, I'd say. Maddie prioritizing over the stuff that I'm doing. I'm just out here for introductions. Here's this person, have fun with this content.
Yeah,
we need to do it at this time, and we're killing it.
Well, you couldn't pick a better person to show you around there, Maddie. I mean, Jake obviously knows the stuff around gear, but as far as that tour is concerned, he knows, he's the guy out there. So that's good learning experience for us. So let's ask the question now, because you're gonna be on the hot seat a little bit today, Maddie. Because this is the first time we've had a girl on the show in like fucking ever. So I know, I think it is literally. I think
that's
I have to go back. Like, I'd love to have you on a lot. So what did you not know this morning that you know now?
Ooh.
I think the most interesting piece, maybe I didn't know it, or like kind of know it, but didn't know it to the extent that Jake explained it, was about like Riley's driver shaft, and how shafts specifically work to help you with like the weighting in them for people who deliver their speed either from the top or from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, it's not just how strong you are. That was kind of the myth that I always believed, was that, your shaft, as you get stronger, you have to go up in like your shaft stiffness or your weight, one or the other. But these things are really designed to help people, if you, like me, deliver your speed from the top of your backswing versus Riley, who delivers it like starting halfway down from the bottom, we would need completely different golf shafts, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But
mm-hmm.
if you were to look at us, we might have, I mean, she's like head and shoulders above me, but if we had the same stats in terms of swing speed, ball speed, whatever, I would assume we would need the same shaft, right? Because we had the same stats.
Right.
But it's not necessarily true. You have to look at how the swing itself is working and like how the sequencing is working too.
Yeah, you have to look at a bunch of different things. I mean, you have to think, that's where good fitters come into play. Like, you'll learn this too, Maddie, as you go. And I didn't learn this until probably, I was 10 years into being a gearhead, but shafts essentially are, and unfortunately it's the only way to market shafts is the way that they market them. It's very, very hard to just not put some sort of, feature and benefit to each color. But ultimately, like, golf shafts are for each player in their own vacuum. So there's not one shaft. You can't just say this shaft works for people trying to hit a higher. Like that's how they're marketed, but that's not really how it works. And club fitters know that. And there's a few different things at play, and Jake, you can chime in here too. But one is my most important thing with the shaft is the player's ability to time it up to get the face square, right? Like that's a huge component. Because if you can't hit out of the guts, then it doesn't really matter how good the shaft is. 1, 2 is, are you a puller? Meaning, are you pulling from the top? Are you a thrower? Do you kind of release the shaft up top? Are you rotational? Meaning, do you hang on to it as long as possible and deliver it at the bottom? So it's all a story of where you want that shaft to kind of kick, which again is the timing mechanism of everybody's different. So like you might look at a golf swing, well, they have a really wide arc and this and that, but if you take somebody like Rocco Mediate that literally swings in a circle, there's no like angles to it. It's just a circle. He can play with the stiffest, heaviest shaft you can think of, and the ball flight's always the same because it doesn't matter. The club's not moving. It's just, and he doesn't want it to move. If it moves, it freaks him out. But then you'll get somebody like Hideki Matsuyama, who's a very, very strong player that plays really kind of heavier, weaker iron shafts because of how he delivers it. So it's not an exact science. It's, you need somebody like myself or Jake or somebody a true spec or a good fitter essentially to figure that out. So second question for you. As a golf enthusiast, do you have when you go in to start looking for golf clubs, right? Like if you're like, okay, I'm in the market for like a driver, what kind of information are you seeking right now? Like, how do you buy a golf club right now?
Yeah, I think I would do a lot of you have to do a little bit of research right before you even go into the store. You want to know what these equipment companies are essentially like, what's the tech behind it.
Right.
And while I might not know the tech off the top of my head, I can tell you something I would be looking for would be adjustability in terms of like loft, because I'm somebody that likes to kick the loft down to get that face to shut just a little bit.
Right.
Now I have like neutral standard, but the loft is so low that the face is kind of like giving me that I guess more closed feel, which is
right.
nice.
Like a square look.
Exactly. And I'm hitting the ball so much straighter because of it. Because I used to like hit a banana ball that just big slice. And once I started lowering the loft on it, it helped really rein that in. So I would just make sure that it's a little bit adjustable in that sense. And then I would want to look at the forgiveness, because as somebody who doesn't play a ton of golf, I want to know that, I'm going to get power out of my driver, but I also want to know that I'm not going to like hit it all over the place. I need to have like a consistent ball flight. And then the last thing is just low spin. I want to have like low spin. I know that that's something that benefits my ball flight. I'm not sure if that changes player to player, swing to swing. That would be something I would be interested in learning more about. But I'm not super like loyal to any brands in terms of going into a place and trying things out. Right. I can tell you I am very specific about the feel and the sound of a driver.
Okay. So that's those are good things. So like Jake, I'm sure you're listening too. Like, if Jake and I are two salespeople at Golf Galaxy or whatever, right? And somebody comes in and says, I'm looking for a driver. I want to feel confident. I like a square look. Yeah. I want some loft, I need enough loft to get the ball in the air, but I'm also looking. So like, just based on those parameters, right? Like this is the fun thing about modern technology is the fact that you can move center of gravity around. You can make a driver that you really like the look of very, very forgiving. Like if we're talking about Callaway drivers, for example, like I can make a triple diamond driver super forgiving by just adding loft and moving the weight back. And, and those are tour drivers, but essentially you can make any driver right for the player. Yeah. Because of the ability to move center of gravity. So this is my question. And Jake, I'm going to have you actually answer this first. So today on the range, so you're helping players and you're talking to people or whatever. What's one example of like what you saw today out on the range that you think we could feed to Maddie? Like, okay, this is kind of like, this is golf fitting 101.
specifically with a driver or just in general?
Just in general, something
So
that you
I
saw
think the
today that's like, hey, you
biggest
should pay attention.
yeah, I think the biggest story for Maddie or for anybody else in like just the general consumer base for golf is take ego out of the bag as much as you can. I did 2 what's in the bags today that had 7 hybrids in the bag,
Right.
right? And the iron set starts at the 8. Like they have an 8, 9, and a pitching wedge. Those are the only irons they have in the bag. And I mean, I think replacing long irons with hybrids until the point that you're comfortable is an extremely underrated equipment story, right? Like if it's a 7 hybrid, then it's a 7 hybrid, and who cares? If you hit your number and the ball stops where you want it to, then that's great. And nobody should tell you that that's wrong. Nobody should judge you for that. You shouldn't judge yourself for that. Because professional golfers that are trying to literally live and die by this every week are choosing to make that choice. And it works out great for them. Isabella Fierro has a wear mark the size of half of a dime on her 7 hybrid. It's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, there you go. You know, it's hard to
And she
it's hard
still
to battle
crushes
that.
her drives. I mean, it's not like she is hitting the
She hits
hybrids
so much
because
out
she
of that
doesn't
frame.
hit it far, you know?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
a lot.
She gets so much.
A lot of what you're seeing, especially you're going to see it a lot more now, I think, is even on the PGA tours. You know, we've already kind of lost the 2 iron, we've lost the 3 iron. We're going to start losing 4 irons. We already kind of are starting to lose 4 irons to the point where
Yeah.
you're going to start to see really long hitters with 9 woods more prevalently, and 4 or 5 hybrids.
Yeah.
A lot of it's because technology is starting to catch up with the tour, I should say. Is you can have a hybrid. I guess the needs of a tour player are different. The days of having to carve in a 5 iron really make it responsive. That's not really needed anymore. The
Yeah.
only thing anybody's looking for is I just want to hit it straight up in the air and I want it to stop on a dime. And that's kind of become the prerequisite of like a good longer iron, is just the fact that I can hit it high. So,
Yep.
like when you're out there today, Maddie, was there any surprises that you saw in players' bags? I mean, granted, like, these are all you're going to see a lot more hybrids and lofted fairwoods on the LPGA just by nature. But like, did you
Yeah.
see any bags out there like that's interesting. I've never seen a 11 wood, or I've never seen anything out there catch your eye.
I think just the usage of more woods. I definitely grew up in the era where you played as many irons as you could, and that you were seen as a stronger player because of that.
Right.
That physically stronger player. So it's nice to see this next generation of golfers who are very, very good. They're incredibly precise with these clubs. They are completely breaking down like these old ideas that I probably even still had, right? Like I used to think about my hybrids as like probably the most inconsistent clubs in my bag because I had a huge shot dispersion with them. I'd miss them left, I'd miss them right. That was probably more to do with my swing than the hybrid, but I probably blamed it on the club because, it was easier to just assume that it was an issue with the club. But it's really cool.
We had a
funny
moment of
so
that.
consistent.
Yeah. We had a funny little moment of that with Riley today. That will be one of the greatest clips that I will take out of a video. Was Riley Smythe very specifically said, and I made her say it twice, that she spent 6 months after a hip injury trying to figure out why she couldn't hit her driver straight. And it took 3 swings with a new driver shaft to fix it. And I right away was like, fuck yeah. Like, switch your clubs. Don't change your swing. Don't yes. Like, just find clubs, find equipment that works for the swing that you are putting on the ball and stop fighting it. Like, there's a time to blame your swing, sure. But more often than not, if you're an elite player at any level, there's a very good chance that if something is happening wrong in your ball flight, a piece of equipment can fix it. And I think that applies to more levels of golf than anybody wants to admit.
I would 100% agree. And I was somebody who was not, like, I was playing 10-year-old clubs up until I got this new set of Callaway clubs like a few months ago. And I can tell you right now that from the moment that I hit them on like grass and tested them out,
Yeah.
I knew that it was definitely my equipment that was holding me back previously from playing well.
Yeah.
And honestly, it like makes you kick yourself because you're like, and Riley even said this when you and I were talking with her. Why didn't I do
Yeah.
this sooner? And it just feels like a no-brainer after you've done it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just can't be stubborn. You gotta just assume that you gotta like allow there to be other reasons.
Well,
than your
100%.
there's a couple things here. Like, so now modern technology allows you to have like a shitty golf swing and hit good golf shots. Like, that's the whole point. People want to know why Callaway and everybody comes out with new drivers every year, this and that. Like, one, it's a business, so like, you know, we're not
Yeah.
running a daycare, so you know, obviously there's money to be made. But on top of that, the real cool thing is the fact that, you know, with every iteration, it just brings in another golfer that can continue to be who they are, and they have a golf club
Yeah.
that'll work for them. And you know, as time goes by, you know, people ask me all the time, like, why do they come out with stuff every year? It's always something, because golfers are evolving and they need options, right? Like, you know, hybrids weren't
Mhm.
what they were. I think hybrids are getting way better. Lofted fairways are getting way better. I mean, I think like now
Yeah.
like you're seeing so many lofted fairways, for example, on any tour, but specifically like the PGA Tour. A lot of it's because they can mitigate spin with them now, because the way that they're designing with the golf ball and how they can move weight around. You can make a really high lofted fairway wood, like a 7 would fly like a 5 would if you wanted to,
Yeah.
because of what they can do to the golf club. So, okay, so far you guys still have like the rest of the week there. So we're not gonna kill everything by talking about this the whole time. I do want to talk about the Ryder Cup because we just had this huge event that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just get into that really quick. But in the middle of this right now, before we get in the Ryder Cup, we did have some interesting pictures come out of Mississippi this week. Callaway's got new putters
Oh yeah.
that we saw. More square to square. Can I say something? And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this.
I mean,
The square, like,
it wasn't my turn to babysit you today.
it's not the zero torque. We're gonna get center shafted low torque exhaustion. Like, it's becoming like this is the launch. Like, where those putters are becoming the hero putters of the line, and I'm like, I just don't. I don't think that's
So
what's best.
Maybe I think the plan here is that like they recognize that we're kind of on the tail end of everybody really caring about that trend. So they're bringing out those 3 models first, and then I there's no way that the technology that I saw won't make its way into a full lineup. I think that they're just trying to like give one last hurrah to people caring about low torque toe up stuff, and they're trying to create a story. Again, we don't want to talk about it a ton, but like I think what they did with it is cool. I think it's a good update.
Sure.
I think a lot of people will appreciate the update from a low torque toe up standpoint, and like what the new hosel position looks like and stuff like
Sure.
that. But I think, you know, I think this time next year we're over it. I think
I would
You
I
know.
would hope so, because it's becoming like, if I'm thinking of Odyssey specific, and you know, I have a soft spot. I worked for 4.5 years.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
you know, my favorite putter of all time is an Odyssey, and but where I'm going now is like, it would have been a really cool time to go, no, we actually became famous on making really kick ass conventional putters. And I just, like, I saw the pictures on WRX, and I was like, this is just it's just a bunch of square to square stuff. Like, where and I know they're coming out with other ones at some point,
Yeah.
but I think where I
it's
sit,
a
it's
new
like,
insert,
which is great, but put that on a new putter, put it on a new
but I think they will. Like
I know, but you're
you
missing
know.
the point. Why would you come out with another square to square thing now? Like, you've already pumped square to square out in the market with the jailbird stuff. They're all over the place. Lab's the talk of the
Yeah.
town. TaylorMade's got theirs. Why not just go, you know what? We'll bring this out after the fact. We got this new technology, this new look. Like, let's get these hero putters out there. Let's get the 7 out there. Let's get the Rossi out there. Show people what's what. But they bring all these designs up, but they're all center shafted low torque putters. And I'm like, why? Like, show the market that you're not just doing market stuff. Come on, let's do something else.
Yeah,
I
but
was
like,
just-
wouldn't the sales dictate that was the right move,
I don't know. We don't know
right?
that.
Like,
We don't know that.
I can't
don't-
imagine they're not selling more square to square than others at the moment.
I imagine
Right?
they are, and they're going to continue to sell them to that buyer. But it's like it's just more. So now we have 30 options for square to square. Like, what the
Well,
fuck?
but at the end of the day, it's also still Odyssey. They're gonna have 50 different putters.
I know that. I get it. I work for them. I know
Like,
how the business. I know how their business works. Like I
no, I
get
know,
it.
but like, I just think
I'm
like,
sitting here.
I,
I'm sitting
I
here
don't
for
know.
somebody
It's not
that's been on the
surprising.
inside of the machine, and they have all these smart people here. And I'm like, bro, just come up with a couple of conventional putters for me. Just get people excited about Odyssey putters without the zero torque thing again. Because in my opinion, it's just an other element of the conversation that's already an active conversation. It's like, oh, here's our other 9 offerings of the square to square just to show everybody how well we do it. It's like, you already do it well. We know you do it well. Like, just wait until March. Like, let's bring out let's tease them out with a couple of cool designs, get people excited. Try to get Xander in one of these new designs or somebody, and then
Yeah.
March we'll bring out the square to square stuff when the temperature is, it's not so, we're not like in zero torque exhaustion.
When's the last time Odyssey came out with a new shape?
Well, this last they brought that, well, the whatever the hell they call that lab looking thing, the mushroom, their version of the
Oh, the
mushroom,
Max Stripe, yeah, the Max.
which is,
the
I'm not
AOL
going to get
Max.
into that one.
Okay, so
But
fair though.
like
That was technically a new shape.
like and I'll
technically.
say it out loud. I think Odyssey is the best putter company in the world. I mean, I'll say that right now. As far as your options, the technology, the ability to stay relevant with the market and the consumer demands and this and that. Like, I think, and maybe I'm biased because I was there for so long, but they understand that part of it. So like when I see pictures like that go out on WRX from a personal standpoint, I'm like, guys, you couldn't, come on. Like, you couldn't have put a different record on just for a little while. Let's listen to, instead of K-pop Demon Hunters, let's listen to Michael Jackson for a half hour. Let's just mix it up.
So both of you, if you could create your own shape for a new putter, like pick the hosel, pick the relative footprint of the putter, what would that look like?
Take it, Maddie.
In terms of like, do I want it to be revolutionary or would it be something I use?
Well, both.
Like for my own game? Because I think it would have to be a blade putter if I was using it.
Sure.
I'm somebody that's pretty partial to a blade.
Do you like like a 1.0? Do you like a double wide? Do you want lines on it? Do you want a dot on it?
Don't
Like,
mind.
Give us some detail.
Yeah, I don't mind the double wide, but I think I would rather it be a 1.
Okay.
But I think it would be cool to have a little more of like the I don't know as much about the putter shapes, but for the way that it I don't like center shafted. Definitely not center shafted.
Okay, so what kind of do you like
blade.
the hosels that have a little angle like that, like a 90-degree angle?
I don't like the plumber. No.
Oh, she knows that. She knows it's a plumber.
But I can't think of the name of the putter, the hosel that I have. I can't think of the name of it.
You have a double bend.
Okay, so I like the double bend. Yeah. So I would do a double bend.
Double bend blades are the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty classic one. I think I'd have to do some cool like design on the bottom to make it interesting. Sure. But it would be cool to have a little bit of like, I know that you can't do this, but in like, the magic land where you can, it would be nice to have like a little bit of a bigger sweet spot towards the toe, because I like to toe putt on fast putts. And so like, I think that gives you a little.
Well, but if you put a sweet spot there, then your toe putt doesn't work.
Oh, that's true.
Like you put it off the toe because you want to kill it, right?
Yeah, to get that.
Yeah, so if you put your sweet spot there.
But sometimes it just feels so dead coming off the toe that it doesn't feel like a good putt. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah.
That's fair. Don't know.
We talked about that too. You learned about that. The lab graduated sweet spot. We talked a lot about that because
that was pretty interesting.
Big debate about that.
So you want me to answer
Johnny-
what my putter would
Yeah,
be?
what's your putter, Johnny?
Yeah.
Well, the best putter I've ever had is this Jailbird that Cody Hale made me two of them actually. That is like a double bend, 36 inches, really heavy. It's counterbalanced. Like I don't know what it is about this putter, but I love it. And I'm
What
putting with
face?
a micro hinge.
Ooh.
So it's really soft face, and in the
But a
combination with
beautiful roll.
a really heavy head, it's like it just feels like a marshmallow. And I just hit a bunch of good putts with it, and like I said, that's that. If I was hitting a 6-footer for my life, that's the putter I'm using. But I'm being open minded, so I'm trying this lab putter out right now that I'll try tomorrow for the first time. So we'll see how that one flies.
The heel, is it a heel shafted?
It's the new one. What's the name of the new one?
The Oswan HS.
There you go, HS.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So I'm gonna go give that a spin. But like if I had to build the perfect putter for me, like Jake, you said something like it would be some sort of like a double bend, large bladey, because I think that those putters seem to work no matter how you're putting it. Like if you're open door, shut door, they work. If they're square to square, they seem to work. If you get them weighted right, like those putters seem to work really, really well. So, speaking of big putts, we're gonna segue.
There you go.
We're not droning on here. Speaking of big putts, Shane Lowry makes, and I'm gonna start this off with a question. Shane Lowry makes that 6-footer to win his match
Retain
against
Yeah. Oh
Russell
yeah.
Henley. Or was he to tie the match, right? Didn't he tie the match?
It was to have it, yeah.
It was to
To
have
have
the match,
it
right?
and retain
And retain the cup.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm of the opinion if he misses that putt, USA wins the Ryder Cup. And I give it
Had Bryson already made his at that point?
Bryson was already done playing.
Yeah,
he was
done,
right?
He was already in. So you had left on the golf course. You had Burns. You had
it was Burns, McIntyre, and Griffin.
It was Burns and McIntyre, Griffin, and who did Ben Griffin
Hatton.
play?
Tyrrell Hatton.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were all square, and then there was one match that was the Henley Lowry match, because there was 2 matches left when they got done. After he made that putt, there was still 2 matches left, I think.
Yeah, Ben was one up.
Yep.
And then the other match was
and Burns was one up going into like 16.
He was one up, yeah.
And then so theoretically, like those 2 matches, if they go, one up, everything swings. It goes like 13 and a half to 14 and a half.
Dude, Burns should not have given McIntyre that putt on 17.
How long was it?
I was pretty angry about that. It was like 6 feet, and he had just missed a 6-footer literally on the previous 3 holes. Like McIntyre couldn't putt for his life on Sunday, and Burns gives him this putt that and it wouldn't have mattered because they had already retained or whatever. But
that's why I think he gave it.
I think that's why he gave it to him too. I don't think it really mattered.
It would have been an interesting story though for it to tie 14-14 with the envelope. That would have been the key, right? Like I think just from a story standpoint, like whether they win or not, I think that in our lives that would have been a hell of a
way better
day.
comeback if they don't lose the cup, they just didn't retain it. Like that would have been a cool story. I'm of the opinion, and Maddie, actually, I want to get your take on this, but like, and I don't know how they set the singles matches. I still, and I understand that there was like crowd control. I still have no idea how Scheffler and Rahm didn't play each other, and how Bryson and
so dumb.
That was just like
I think that was intentional for Bryson to not play Rory.
I think it was just for crowd control. I think it was literally like if we put them together, it's going to be.
Although, okay, the only thing that I will say is I saw recently on No Laying Up, they had like a YouTube video that came out where Francesco Molinari, his brother, I'm trying to remember his name. Eduardo, exactly. Yep. So he was saying that they use a ton of data to select their pairings for both the foursomes and the 4-ball selections. and that there was a lot of data in terms of like who would lift who up and like who could help kind of reduce some of the mistakes that they were going to see out on the course. What was the best pairing in terms of, your stats for hitting the fairway, whatever. I would also guess that probably played a role in how they decided the matchups for singles. And I wonder if, they just knew that in terms of like, I think the most interesting pairing was Bryson and Fitzpatrick. That for me was an awesome pairing. And I just wonder, like, did they use the data to select those singles?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know both teams are pretty stat ridden. I mean, they both do that at this point, where the one thing that, and I think a lot of this is just because of how predictable some of the European teams have become, because their top players are their top players. They don't have all the, like their top players remain their top players for 4 to 8 to 12 years, where in the United States, 4 guys might kill for 5 or 6 years, and then it's like a mixed match of who's going to show up and who doesn't show up. And like, I look at it more from one. I think 100% they didn't pair up Rory and Bryson because of what was going on in the crowds. I think that would have gotten, which I get, but as a fan, I would have loved to see those two go ham in the final match. I would have loved to see them come down to 18 with those two, or Scheffler and Rahm. Like, how do you not give the fans that?
Yeah.
And two, like, the one thing that I heard this a couple of years ago that Luke Donald and that whole squad is, they do like emotional, psychological profiles on their whole team.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure
it's not just, well, you guys want to play together, we're going to pair this up. It's all based on like psychology. Like, these two may not seem like really good friends, but on the golf course under stress, they're actually gonna lift each other up. And you see a level of and it's no secret, you see a level of closeness with the European players that you just don't see with, at least visually. Now, what happens in the back team rooms, I'm not in there. I have no idea what it's like, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But like, just on the golf course, when you're watching these guys, I can tell that Rahm and Tyrrell are close. I can tell that Tommy and Rory are close. That Rosie and Fleetwood are close. Like, you can see it in their face. Like, and just how they physically relate to each other. They're like cousins or brothers, the way they're affectionate with each other. It's just a different, it's a totally different vibe. Now, does that mean that they're going to kick the crap out of the United States every year? No, but I think the modern European squad over the last 20 years, since they've been winning a lot, they all have a recurring theme, and a lot of it's they just fucking all love each other. Like, they
well,
love each other.
I think too, like, so many people forget that they brought the same team. Besides changing the brother. Like,
right.
Like, they literally they just spent 2 years getting better and better and better, and caring more about the Ryder Cup and caring more about the Ryder Cup, doing team things in that 2-year span. Like, knowing that Luke was going to continue to be the captain, I think helped them a ton. Like, I think because it was announced like the day after last year, like, they were like, yep, Luke's staying. Like, problem solved. We have no, like, this doesn't need to be a news story. We don't need to search. Nobody cares. Luke is staying.
I guarantee he'll be captain.
Oh, he should
too. 100%.
Yeah, there's no. Luke should be the captain of that team until he loses by more than 4. Like,
I don't think there's
just no reason.
Like, it's at a Dare Manor, but I don't think. I mean, I think Lowry still fancies him playing on one more. I think Rory's probably got one more left in him.
Do you think Rose would?
I would say Rosie will get it the next time they play it in London. So, like, if they go to Wentworth, I don't know where the one after in 6 years is, but I would imagine,
what about, Podrick. You don't think that they would want him?
They could, but they're on such a run right now. It's very, very hard.
No, I'm this is not like being skeptical, because it's more just like, curious.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna have Harrington do it, you do it at the next one, because it's in Ireland. But it's gonna be interesting to see. But I mean, I think I'm of the opinion now, after what I'm seeing, like with the U.S. squad, like, I think if there was ever a time to lobby for just let the captains pick the teams, take the official world golf rankings and all this crap out of it.
Take the auto qualifiers out.
Take it out. Like, it
screws us every year.
It hurts US more than it, like, let Europe do what Europe's going to do, because Europe's going to have the same team, because they're going to run it back. I guarantee 9 of those guys will be on the next team.
Yeah.
And if I am, and I hate to Monday morning quarterback Keegan Bradley, because I think he actually did a great job. There's only two questionable things that he did, which is putting Harris and Colin Morikawa out there twice, which was, and everybody in the planet's like, well, why the hell? I almost think it was there. The optics of it is like he was offering them up as sacrificial lambs in the hope that they might get lucky. I hate to say that. I don't think that's what he was thinking. I'm assuming he's trying to win, but it's like, I would need a little more explanation of what the thinking was there. Like, to your point, Maddie, like, were the metrics really good during practice? Were they really feel like what
Yeah.
were the indicators there? Because I didn't see it. Like, how
I
do
want
you
to know
not
why
put
Ben only played once.
like how do you not put JJ Spawn and Cameron Young? Like, I
That
feel
was,
like
yeah.
ignorance is bliss. Like,
JJ Spawn and Cameron Young were, I mean, I love a grinder. I love somebody who is there and doesn't feel entitled to their spot on the team already ahead of it, right? Like you can tell that JJ Spawn and Cameron Young, they were playing because it was totally for honor, right? Like, which that's also something that people were bringing up ahead of it was like the money behind it, right? Like the US team getting paid versus the Europeans not. And
yeah, I mean,
not that I think that it's like indicative of your passion, but I do think that was definitely something people were talking about ahead of it.
yeah, I mean, I think that's all like, and I know enough of the American players personally, like not really well, but I know like on that team, I'll tell you who I know really well. I know Xander really well, I know Sam really well, and I know Bryson really well. Everybody else is just somebody I've met, right? Like they're not, and Ben Griffin, I know him okay. I know his caddy way better, but all those guys care immensely about the
Yeah.
Ryder Cup. The money thing literally is a fart in the wind, meaning like they don't think about it. It's not like they went and lobbied for it. It wasn't like it was just it's the PGA of America kind of catering to what they think that players might need, and they offered it up, and most of those players are going to give it to charity anyway. But
not all.
Not all. I mean, some of them might get used for expenses.
But I mean, it was like a
but
storyline that was certainly twisted in.
which I would want. To your point, Maddie, I would want that story. No, I would say we're gonna do this, but we're not gonna let the public know this. Like this is just it has to go to charity. I'm giving you 500 grand. It's just got to go to charity, guys.
Yeah.
If you end up spending this money, like it's a bad luck. So it's just for charity. And then, but the thing that I'm noticing, and I think that this is an American thing more than it's a European thing. Like I just think that there is such a mystique around getting it right every year that there's so much pressure on the US team to be like, come on, because we were supposed to have like the team that we won with in 2021. I guess that was at Whistling Straits.
Whistling Straits, yeah.
They were like, this is the next 10 years of Ryder Cup. Like we're gonna run this back. And the problem is that the Morikawas, the JTs, the Sam Burns, all these guaranteed dogs that we were going to have for the next 10 years, they're still making the teams, but they're not what they've all underperformed theoretically.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, psychologically, I think it's like, like God, like like if I'm Sam Burns, who I adore, but if I'm him, I'm like, okay, I got something to prove at this Ryder Cup. Like, I didn't, because he should make it on points in his sleep. That's how talented that kid is. Like the fact that he's still getting captain's picks to me is like, what are we doing here? He's that good. I mean, the kid is that good. He's a freak. But I think like they come in with like, okay, I got picked for this team. I really got to put some pressure. And it's a different kind of pressure, I think. And again, I'm speculating because I'm not a Ryder Cup player, nowhere near a Ryder Cup player, but it would be an interesting case study to do, like if you could do like a psychological profile before and after these players, these US players, to find out what's really going on, because as disastrous as that Ryder Cup could have been, the US put up a hell of a fight in singles to the point where 70% of us watching it on TV and on X were like, this shit, man, they're gonna come back. Like this is wild. A chance, sir. I mean, I told you, Jake, this is gonna be best case scenario is 18-10. Best case scenario.
Yeah.
So
after Saturday night.
After Saturday night. Yeah, that was a hell of a fight from the US team. I think that kind of is a testament to Keegan, though. I think he really inspired them to go out there and play like their hearts out.
Right.
And
see, I don't.
I don't know.
I'm a mixed bag on that with Keegan because I don't know if the singles performance being so good was good for him or bad for him. Because honestly, other than who they were going to play against, like it was just them doing their only job, and it had no influence from the captain. Whereas getting paired with somebody has major influence from the captain, and he messed it up. Like, okay, like you put the first ones out and you get wrecked, and it's like, okay, that didn't work. And then everybody's expecting you to change what you just got wrecked by, and you don't. And it was like, that
Well,
might not. And I, go ahead.
sorry, I mean, the thing that he didn't, that any coach or any captain in history would rely on is Scotty Scheffler to not go like 0-4 or 0-3 and
Well,
1
and
and
that's the
1
other
or
thing,
whatever.
right? Is it's not
I mean,
his
it's
fault
like,
that 3 of the top 10 players in the world were useless.
but that's going to go to my point now. And then this is what I'm going to say really quick. I think, and I'll say it out loud, I think the official world golf ranking is the biggest sham on the planet. I think it's not representative of anything that matters. Like, is Scotty Scheffler the number 1 player in the world? Hands down, no one. Like, just using your eyeballs, you know it, right? You can flip on a television. Is Russell Henley the 3rd best player in the world? John Rahm's not even in like the top 10 or top 20. John Rahm's the 2nd best player in the world by hands down number 2 player in the world.
Which also makes me. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. That makes me think about LIV and what role LIV plays in this, right? Like both sides too. I would be curious, who would, if there is anybody from LIV, would you have liked to see, have more of a role on either team?
Patrick Reed.
Patrick Reed, yeah.
Patrick Reed all day long. Patrick Reed should have been on that team without an argument. They should have said 100% you're on this team, so we're going to pair you and Bryson up in 4-ball and foursomes, and the crowd's going to go nuts. So Bryson DeChambeau, for example, is a very, very fiery competitor, right? And people will say, God, he's just so much. And he's, he has a stigma about him about just being a lot of energy, right? He's the one guy on the U.S. team that was outwardly, and JT, I'll give him credit. JT was pretty awesome. Like the whole, right? Even when he was struggling, he was still like in it. And they all were in their own way. But I'm just talking about outward, visible enjoyment, passion. They're all like that on Europe. Like I stood on the driving range and I'm watching them talk, and they're just like, let's go. Like, as each day I put it in a caption of my Instagram post, and I got a lot of flack. They're like, God, do you realize that this is not a fight? It's a golf match. But like Rombo, I saw him on Monday, then I saw him again on Tuesday, and I saw him again, and every single day I saw him, the look in his eye went from like this to like lasers right through you. And he was so like jacked up, and every single time somebody walked by him, he'd give him this look like he was like a silverback gorilla in a cage, like just waiting to get out of the cage. And every single time that the players would interact with each other in the European tour, it was just one more like little spark of like, let's fucking go, guys, let's go. And with the American team, I didn't see that unless I saw Bryson was like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? How's your game? Blah, blah, blah. All the energy was coming from like one dude. And granted, he's on a team with a bunch of laid back guys. Like Xander Schauffele is a beautiful, laid back human being. Sam Burns, same drill. Like they're just normal.
Yeah.
They're not Bryson. But that has a lot, in my opinion, that does play into it a lot. When you have 12 guys that are like, I'm going to be somebody I'm not this week because my team's depending on me to be something I'm not. If I have to be the cheerleader and be the worst player on this team but be the best cheerleader, I'm going to be the best cheerleader the Ryder Cup's ever seen. That's the mindset that I think is kind of happening there. So anyway.
So, all right, back to the world ranking thing. Extremely hot take, but I firmly do believe this. I don't think Scotty Scheffler is world number 1 if Rahm doesn't leave the PGA Tour. Because, and let me clarify this statement. Hold on.
Yeah.
So Rahm feeds off of the idea that people think they can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And for Scotty to do what he did, like especially the 6 in a row, that doesn't happen if Jon Rahm is against him.
No.
It just doesn't. It doesn't happen. And I think that the points lead that Rahm had on Scotty when he left the PGA Tour never gets caught up to and then surpassed in the amount that it has been at this point. I just don't think it happens. Like I still think John Rahm is the best golfer in the world. I genuinely believe that. I think that Scotty Scheffler and him going at it could have been very, very fun for us all to watch. I mean, I have no opinions. I think LIV is awesome. I think the guys that left and the reasons they left and the money they got, I
All
think it's all
valid.
great. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
all
all
on
valid.
that. I'm on that side. I think it's perfect. I think it's great. But I do think that from a world ranking standpoint, I don't think the number one golfer in the world right now is the number one golfer in the world. I think he is one of the top 5 golfers that's ever existed in the run that he's on. But you have to like, I don't want to Taylor Gooch this, but like, there's a small like, hey, did all this without John Rahm or Bryson fighting at all? Like,
Or Brooks Koepka or Joaquin Neiman, or I mean,
yeah,
just like let's call it what it is. Like it would have been
Yeah.
way tougher for him to do what he's doing if those guys were still there. Like so,
yeah,
I agree with you. Like
Totally.
I still think Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world, but I do think if I had to pick somebody to go out and play, like if again, if my life is on the line and I had to send out a PGA Tour player or a professional golfer to go play for my life, I'm sending out Rombo 12 times out of 10
yeah.
because of the depths that he will go to make sure that he comes back with a fucking carcass. Like that's like, and
Well,
that's
that's
Yeah.
like I even put Rory over Scotty in like that situation. I would even pick Rory over Scotty.
I say that the hard part with Scotty Scheffler, and this is the thing, like if you had to play over 10 rounds, right? Like say it's a 10 round tournament and it's Rahm, Rory, and Scotty playing.
Yeah.
I had to put $1,000 on somebody to win for like low score, right?
Yeah.
I would probably pick Rahm over the course of 10 rounds. Now,
Sure.
if it's best, if it's a match for seven matches and they're playing best of 4, I don't know. I don't know who wins that one. I don't because they're different dynamics. The one thing that Scotty Scheffler can do, especially if he gets hot with a putter, is he can go really, 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 really obnoxiously low on days when everybody else is not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, and not that Rombo can't, but I'm just saying like Scotty tends to do that more often than Rory and Rahm do. Where Rahm and Rory can do it too, but just not like he kind of sits in the middle.
Yeah.
But like Rombo, over the course of time, especially if you give him round after round, heaven forbid he has like a good first couple of rounds. If he has the first 2 good rounds, and he's going to win by 20 because once he gets a full head of steam and it's just rinse and repeat
Yeah.
every day, you're going back and playing. That's when he gets real scary.
Mm.
So
Now, when you look at these great players, do you think that their achievements and records at a Ryder Cup at a team event should be considered when you look at their career as a whole, and then
100%.
you consider them as like one of the best players? Because you look at somebody like Scotty, who you love him. He's a
Well,
great player, legendary, but he didn't play well at
Well, look
this
at Tiger
Ryder Cup.
Woods.
Tiger Woods
was
has a crappy
terrible in the Ryder
Yeah.
Cup, and they thought that he was almost unbeatable in singles, but as a team member, he didn't fit very well. And that goes back to, can American superstars coexist? So if you go back to like one of the greatest Ryder Cup performances in history was a Tigerless 2008 Valhalla team, and they had a mix match of players, like JB Holmes and like Kenny Perry. I mean, they're rando squad,
Yeah.
and they won. And they won because, in my opinion, they kind of let Phil just take the ball and run with it. Like that's when he kind of blossomed AK to become AK, and Hunter Mahan. He took Hunter Mahan like that.
Yeah.
To me, the Ryder Cup, the one guy that understands it at a granular level, that's never going to get the chance to be a captain or get involved, is Phil Mickelson, because he understands the mentorship part of it. Like he was the best in the world at taking young players and grooming them on tour. Like, hey, you want to come play on our Tuesday money game? And it could be anybody. It could be some kid that just came up from the Corn Ferry Tour. They want to go play,
Yeah.
they'll play. And if he thinks that you can play and you can hold your weight at a Tuesday game, you're going to keep getting invited back. And all that does is create chemistry with these guys.
Yeah.
So by the time AK, JB Holmes, Hunter Mahan, A lot of those younger guys in that 2008 team, hell, Boo Weekley, the moment they showed up, they were already indoctrinated into the Phil thing. They'd all been playing in big
Yeah.
money games. They knew what it was like.
Mhm.
And Phil is like the ultimate Ryder Cup captain because he's willing to go into the depths, the emotional depths, and he doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks about him in that
Well,
Yeah.
and
respect.
that's where like I really, really wanted Maverick McNeely to be on this team. Because I
Yeah.
think like, and I also think that Andrew Novak should have been on the team because of the grind of that, like of a player like that would be so phenomenally grateful to be there, to be a part of the team, to have the atmosphere of team. Like it's almost as if we need to take the approach of Miracle on Ice, right?
Right.
And it's like no
Yes.
superstars.
Right.
Only the ones
Yes.
that care about this more than their own lives get to go to the Ryder Cup. And if Justin Thomas does that and he deserves to go, then cool. But this auto qualifying stuff has murdered us because
Yeah.
we got stuck with Brian Harmon, who did nothing, but he won the Open, so he gets to go. Like, no, who cares? Like, everybody can have a good tournament. I think JJ Spawn is terrific. I think JJ Spawn deserved to go. That's not the one I'm talking about. But I think, did Russell Henley deserve to go to the Ryder Cup? No. Like, did Colin Morikawa deserve to go to the Ryder Cup because he had enough points in the world ranking banked up over the last 2 years, and then sucked at golf for the last 8 months, and he gets to go because his points automatically get him there? No, that was dumb. That was so dumb. Like, Maverick McNeely would have been on Keegan Bradley's butt for 7 days of, what do you want me to do, Captain? What do you want me to do? JJ Spawn was the same way. I heard so many stories about JJ Spawn just saying, like, what do you need me to do?
Yeah.
When do
Where
you
do you
need me
need
to do
me?
it? And how do you need me to do it?
Where am I
And that
best
was
used?
it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I also think this is the first year that I've like been in the golf space and paid attention to the Ryder Cup where I didn't hear a lot about the vice captains. Like, I didn't hear a lot of Gary Woodland getting in the mix. I didn't hear like
He was. I mean,
it just seemed like it was obviously the story is Mr. Bethpage with Keegan. I get it. It's a great story, but like, I don't know. It felt like such a, I don't know. Like just like a
they were.
stale
I mean,
year.
they were. I mean, Woodland was. Gary was great. I mean, he was. Gary's there because the players really are comfortable with Gary. Gary's a very easy guy to be around. So Gary's not like, I don't know. I mean, he's not like having some Corey Pavin or somebody really fiery. He's not. That's not Gary Woodland's like. You want Gary Woodland there because Gary Woodland is like just calm waters, right? Like he's
Yeah.
very good at
Yeah,
calming
sure.
people down. He's very, very good with the young players. Like he was great. Like there was a lot of co-captains there. I mean, again, it's just, to me, it's always going to come down to somebody's going to have to be unpopular on the U.S. side and go, guys, the way that we do it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that everybody feels entitled if they get enough points that they're going to play on this team. I'm going to pick the 12 best players that I want on my team, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to die on that hill. But
Yeah.
if you're not
So
rocking and rolling
But
4 to
to
5 months for
Jake's
the Ryder Cup,
point, you do it the Herb Brooks way. You're not looking for the best ones. You're looking for the right ones.
the
You
right ones.
find people that have the chemistry. You find people that understand what it means to be a part of a team and play in those pairings, right? Like,
Right.
that's what Europe does so well. And to your point, like, yeah, Phil did do a great job, like bringing these people in, taking them under his wing, and like really showing them and mentoring them. And that's what Europe
and
has going for them.
the other thing with the auto qualifying based on world ranking points, and this is part of why the world ranking is so
It's the
BS,
stupidest. It's the stupidest thing in
is
the history of golf.
I'm gonna paint you a perfect picture of this, right? If from now until the next Ryder Cup, Scotty Scheffler doesn't even play another tournament,
He's still on the Ryder Cup.
he would still automatically qualify for the Ryder Cup. So do we take Scotty Scheffler, who hasn't played a golf tournament in 24 months? No. But we would have to, because that's part of the rules. Like, it's just so, I hate it so much. I just really do. Every year we get screwed by at least one of the auto qualifiers. They do absolutely nothing. They're completely useless.
Well,
It
because
happens all the time.
it's also based on the assumption that the guys that are in the top 10, again, like, we were talking about, for example, you're talking about Colin Morikawa, right? That, like you said, it shouldn't have been there.
No.
The
He had
the
points
idea
banked, basically.
the idea 4 years ago is that those guys were always going to just qualify for it. I mean, and that's the biggest tragedy of American golf, and I hate to, it's the only word I can think of. But again, it goes back to like Sam Burns and Colin Morikawa. You know, Xander just had a kid. Like, I give Xander a pass. Like, he got hurt. He just
Yeah.
had a kid. Like, shit happens. Like, you know, he's fine. He did fine. I think he still got like 3 points. Like,
Yeah,
but
he did
you know,
great,
he hasn't
actually.
been.
Yeah.
We can all agree Xander has not been Xander this year. Well, because he had the year of his life last year and he had a kid this year. So you get a pass, dude. You're fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, those players that we were relying on to be consistently dominant are not consistently dominant. It goes like this.
Yeah.
You know, every year it's like, well, God, who's going to sneak their way in? I mean, like, you know, Jordan Spieth was not even in the conversation for a long time. And JT was like a question mark if he was
Yeah.
going to make it in. Sam Burns was a question mark. Colin Morikawa was a question mark. All these guys were like, we're guaranteed like the next 10 years we have our squad. Like, these guys are going to qualify.
Yeah.
They're going to win majors, and it hasn't happened. And like, that is a problem, and it almost serves to the Europeans a little bit better in that respect, because it's a smaller pool to pick from, one.
Yeah.
But two, and this is where they're going to continue to stay scary. Rahm's like 28 years old, 29 years old. Like, he's got another 3 or 4 of these things left. The Højgaards are 22 or 23. David Puig is like 12. Like, they have that other.
Victor Hovland is in
They
there.
got Hovland
He's
young.
young.
Like, they have so many players coming up that grew up around all these guys. So they're not like some kid from Wake Forest that doesn't know anybody. They all grew up. They all play golf at Silverleaf, and they all play golf at Whisper. They're all buddies. They play rounds together. Like, you watch, like, this next crop of European studs, they're coming. And like, I thought the only mistake that Luke Donald made, where in hindsight, is I would have taken a winger on a couple of the young Spaniards. Like, I would have taken Ballester and Puig. Like, you know what, guys? Like, let's put them in the fire, the ultimate fire in their first Ryder Cup. They're going to be dumb to it. They don't know any better. Let's just get them indoctrinated now, because the faster they learn what this is like, the better they're going to be in Ireland and the next Ryder Cup. Like, that's the only thing I would have pivoted with that squad, is taking 2 young guys and just let Rahm take them, embrace them, show them around, you know, pair Rahm and Puig up together. Like, like, that would have been incredible. So, and I know this isn't really we're talking golf today. This is like less about equipment, more about golf, but like, obviously the Ryder Cup's a pretty big deal. But we're going to end the show with a little bit of equipment talk. So we have in the next month and a half, actually 2 months from now. 2 months from now.
2 months.
First week in December, we are going to be doing something. I can't call it out because I'm not going to publicize it yet. But we are going to be doing something pretty cool with Club Test, and we've kind of reformatted it because I thought Club Test was just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life across all platforms, not just the golf.com.
Sorry, Jason.
I thought they were all bad.
Sorry, Jason. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Steve. Sorry. Hold on. Did I get everybody, Johnny?
I don't know. I don't apologize. I think Hot List is dumb. But this is why, and I'll give you my reason.
Yeah.
It's a snapshot in time, and it's not good for the golfers to rank golf clubs, especially these days. Now, 15 years ago, an argument could have been made, like, because there was bangers, there was losers, there was people that just had bad ideas. These days, even the bad ideas are bangers. Like, they're all good.
Yeah.
So what's best for the golfer is more or less just encouraging them to go get fit, give them as much information as humanly possible, and let them go in there. What's happening, though, with these hot lists is that it does give you the stigma that, you know, this one got 4 stars, or this one got a gold medal, or this one got this. And it's, you know, Bob and Betsy Ross on the driving range in Arizona for 2 days, hitting nothing but drivers and 3-woods all day. And it says nothing about, and then they write on their little notes, like, oh, this was good, this was right. Like, it's the biggest whatever waste of time I've ever seen. So,
with a different loft, with a different type of head, with a different shaft at a different length, with a different ball.
They're not getting fit into it at all. It's like, here's the club, hit it, tell me what you think. It's dumb. Like, My Golf Spy, I will say, they made an attempt to make a data-driven thing where they have their rankings and stuff. But again, it doesn't tell a full story of like what golf clubs are good. And I think the best thing to do on these things is say that's all good. Let's go find out what's right for specific golfers. And the
Yep.
only time that you can do that for us is to figure out what would be right for us, and then try to translate. This is what we learned in our discovery. Then you guys can go get fit and do your own thing. So we're going to be making a pretty big announcement, probably closer to the end of November, about what we're going to be doing for club tests. I think you guys are going to really like it. I know Maddie's. It's going to be an eye opener for you. You're going to be right in the thick of it. Jake
I'm
and
ready
I,
for it.
you're going to walk into basically what Jake and I experience all the time, but really excited about it. So, Maddie, I'm going to pose this question to you. If you could build your dream bag right now,
Ooh.
what would
Okay.
you build? Give me your dream bag after all the information you've acquired, everything that you know about golf equipment, seeing things you've seen. If you had to build a 14 club bag, what would it be?
Okay, well, I think I would go with, and I know that this is just like personal preference. So there is only one brand that I have ever had any kind of like loyalty to, and that's just because it was the set of irons that I played the best in my entire golf career. And they were the Mizuno like JPX. I can't remember the exact number that I had previously, but I would assume that like whatever ones I would get fit into, because I don't want to assume that I'm better for that, like my game is gonna fit a specific number, but I would go into a Mizuno iron.
Okay.
And then I would like the Vokey wedges.
Okay.
I think I'd like to.
She says it like it's a Louis Vuitton purse. I want a Louis Vuitton purse.
Okay, but that just
I love it. Keep going.
That's what I would
fine.
want.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you're cooking.
Okay.
What else you
All right,
got?
then what? Then what? Yeah.
All right. I do really like the Titleist drivers, so I think I would go with one of those. But the Callaway wood that
you
I've
hit your Callaway
lately,
driver as good as like.
I mean, my Callaway driver would give any Titleist that I have hit and been very obsessed with a run for its money.
You guys both have drivers right now that are both Callaway drivers that I would say if you guys switched it out, what you'd be swapping them out for better be really damn good, because
I don't think I would switch this one for anything. It's just the sound and the feel. That's the only thing that is different that I would say.
She hits her driver like you hit yours, Jake. It's the same shot every single time. It's just this little like straight ball that falls right every time out of the guts. Goes out, carries out there about 215, 220, and rolls out 30 yards, and it's just on repeat all day long.
Love that.
It's a fun one to hit. It's great.
Yeah.
And then I think I would go with like a Callaway wood. I like their woods. I think the hybrids are where I would be probably least select. Like I wouldn't know 100% what I would want.
Ping.
I do like pinks, but you know what I used to have? This is like a deep cut. I used to have a Cleveland Matchy hybrid.
Oh, those were great. Those were
amazing. I was obsessed with. So Cleveland, bring back the Matchies so that I can throw it in the bag, because I hit those things. I was so precise with those. I would put hybrids through the bag to my 7-iron if I had Matchies still. Those things were legit. And then, of course, Newport 2.5 Scotty putter.
Yep.
Nerd.
But I think with the club test this year, that is the aspect of my bag I'm most excited to learn more about, is the putter, because it's been the one I've been the most hard-headed about. It's the one that I learn about what other companies are creating, but I always go, okay, but you know what? No. Right. I still love what I've got. So that's what I would build.
I think what's funny is if somebody would ask me that question like 15 years ago, I'd have been like, I want. And now it's like I sit here at 48 with one shoulder, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to feel good, man. I just want a set of clubs I can just go hit and have fun and shoot a couple of low scores. And it's funny how your wants and needs change. I mean, like Jake, you can attest to this too. But like, when you first get into the gear stuff, you want all the tour stuff and you want all the cool stuff, and you want to have it and try it and this and that. But what I've learned finally after 35 years of playing golf, that like, with as many sets of irons as I might intake and wedges and all this stuff, like there's very specific things that I know work for me all the time, and it doesn't matter what year they came out. I know I can throw them in my bag tomorrow and go play good golf with. And Like
Yeah.
that's always the goal with tests like this or going through fittings and stuff is like, can I feel like crap and still play good with this golf club? And that's
Yeah.
become the marker of like, is this thing gonna be my best friend when I'm at my worst, or is it gonna be like the friend that just shows up when I'm got a bunch of
Yeah.
money in my
How
pocket?
much of a stress reliever are these golf clubs? Is
Right.
I look at it like that all the time. Like that driver, for example, that you saw me hit, which I actually think I got placed, dude. I can't wait till you watch me hit this other driver.
I don't
It's
want to
something.
though. What
Oh, it's
else could you want out of,
something.
unless you hit it 20 yards further, what else could you want out of a driver? There's
It might be.
nothing
It's close.
there's nothing you could. So I'll give you an example. So like I do club work for a few players, right? And one of the people I work with has a driver that I sent to him 2 years ago, year and a half ago. And he hits it like Jake hits his, and like Maddie, he hits the same shots. This hard cut, launching at 9, spinning at 2600 every single time. He can't turn it over to save his life, which is great. He just hits one shot with it. It goes the same every single time. It's high. I mean, he nukes this thing. And he would call me and be like, okay, like, what do you think about the driver? And I'm like, nothing. I don't think anything about the driver until that face cracks. The drivers don't exist unless I know for a fact that I can either hand you the ability to swing it harder to the left
Yeah.
and get it to cut more, so you just get more ball speed out of it, some more confidence, or if I can mitigate a big miss through a head. And I ended up sending him something that finally, because of how I internally weighted and everything, finally he was like, okay, this one I feel like it doesn't matter how hard to the left I swing, the ball's nowhere, it's never going to go left. It's always going to go right. And that's the feel that he
Yeah.
wants. And he can go out and play like that for the next 10 years and play the best golf of his life. They couldn't
Yeah.
hit it any further, doesn't need to hit any further. So that's, to me, is the sign of a good golf club. Is like, if I have this driver for 4 years, am I still in good shape? Yeah, that's probably a pretty awesome golf club. So like for you two,
Yeah.
for example, and I'll be watching if these drivers, or if you guys start to get fit into stuff that don't look like what I've seen on the golf course, then it's a bad driver. It's not a good driver, and I'll take them away.
Yeah, I'm excited to bring it and see what happens, right? Because like my title was fitting, I brought it, and it was interesting because I was swinging like crap that day because I had 3 hours of sleep. I had just played golf for 6 days in a row, and we did driver at the end of things because I was prioritizing irons and wedges. We did driver at the end, and I was done. I was toast. Like I was
Right.
out. There was no swing left in me. And even Lucas, obviously, he was like, because I think he turned to you too, and he was like, yeah, he just doesn't. This is not the day for this. And but like we still ended up in something that works, right? Like what Lucas sent me works, and it works when I'm on. It works when I'm not on, and like, but so does my driver, and mine's still what you saw. Like I can wake up at 6:30 in the morning, go tee off at 6:45, and hit exactly what you saw me do for 2 days, Johnny. And
Right.
that's special.
See, because
That's something.
drivers like that don't, golf clubs like that in general don't come along very often. I have, in all my travels, doing all the Callaway stuff, and even in this job, there's been 3 drivers that I've had in my possession that I know, and I still have them all. One's an Epic Speed Triple Diamond, one's a Paradigm Triple
Ooh,
Diamond,
Epic Speed Triple Diamond, so good.
and one is this GT2. There's three drivers that I've had that I know I just literally pull them out, go to a hitting bay with one arm and hit it. It's going to come out of the nuts. It's going to go like this. It's going to turn
Yeah,
over every single time. But those are hard to find. And you know me, Jake, like you've seen, I mean,
yeah,
you've seen me on the truck. Like I was building drivers all the time, and 3 woods, but I had to build 300 golf clubs to find 3 great drivers. I can count them in my head. 2 really gnarly fairway woods, 2 or 3 5 woods, a couple sets of irons, and a really good lob wedge.
Yeah.
Like just where they're like just perfect.
Yeah.
So, but that's me fitting myself, doing it all on my own. Like the first time I've had a fitting in 6, 7 years was with Lucas at TPI. That was the first time my fitters ever stood next to me and go, "Okay, we're gonna hit balls."
Dude, that's what I'm most excited for is these fittings because I just wanna show up and just be like, guys, ask me whatever questions you want, but I have no prejudice here. I have no bias. I have no care. I don't really.
I want to shoot
like,
65, and I'm not leaving.
That's
here
the thing.
until I
Like,
shoot 65.
and if I don't, and here's the thing going into this for next year is, if I don't get a new driver, I don't care.
Right.
So it's like, so I'm truly only in this to just go balls out and find something that beats the first piece of unicorn equipment that I have ever had in my bag ever. Like,
Right.
I've never had a single golf club create this emotion in me and then create the performance that you got to see out of it. Like, I've never had that. I thought my driver last year was phenomenal, and now that thing's a piece of junk compared to what I have right now.
Right.
So it will be. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to get into those fitting bays and do this with those people.
Okay, so let's do this before we wrap up the show. This is a good question for Maddie. So this is be a good piece of content to go back to next summer. Maddie, 2026 golf goals. What are they?
Okay, I've got a few. So the first one is to, I guess, invest more of my time into the gym, whether it's mobility, flexibility, or weightlifting. I think that's something that I have not prioritized, and I want to just like dedicate more of myself to that aspect.
Okay.
I was telling Jake today, I'm kind of battling a little bit of an injury, and I want to make sure that I'm healthy. So yeah, just the fitness is definitely going to be something. Just want to see myself getting faster as well with that. I want to increase, not just, my swing speed. I want to increase ball speed and give myself the best chance to play at my best ability. So I think that's going to come with doing a little bit of speed training. We actually talked about that today with Riley and just got into, how do you do that progressively and gradually and in a way that is not just like safe, but that your body can start to get used to swinging faster so that now what your 80 or 90% is so much higher than what it was before.
Right.
So I think, yes, getting faster, but not in the general sense of like, oh, I want to swing harder and like hit it further.
You want to just try less and get more out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think like I would hate to put like a score number on it, but I would like to see my handicap drop. Maybe go from a 5 to a 3. I think that would be respectable. And, maybe just play in like one amateur event and see myself. I think the goal would just be like, all right, let's break 80 at an amateur event. Let's go play in a qualifier. Let's break 80. I think those would be my goals. I don't want to like put a specific number on it, but I do think that there is that barrier. Everybody's experience.
Yeah, you'd like to get your average score, in like the mid to high 70s, where you feel like you can go to any golf course and shoot a good
exactly.
number. Yeah,
and I think eventually the goal is to start trying to play in amateur events if I can practice more. So I just have to find that time, and I think that's the plan right now.
Morrow, what are your golf goals for next year, bud? I want to win the Masters, and then I want to play in the Epson Tour Championship, and I want to play Minecraft.
Oh wait, Minecraft? What the fuck? What? Dude, I'm not Sevi. What? Minecraft? Jeez. No, I would like to win Battle at the Beach.
Good luck.
Yeah, well, you can suck it.
You're not going to win Battle at the Beach.
You might not even be able to swing a golf club. So
you don't even know. You don't know how to win that golf tournament. I do.
I have Golf Dad though, so
good luck.
Anyhow, I'd like to win Battle at the Beach. I would like to be in the championship of my club championship.
Good
like
one.
In the top 2. Like I want to be one of the people fighting for it. I'm interested in doing some sort of event, but like I was talking to somebody about this today. I don't know if Maddie, if you were around, but like I don't really care about my competitive golf life but I really care about my handicap. Like I I ended last year at 0.5 and I was super, super proud of that. And then I went through the winter and I went to swing changes. I got all the way up to a 4 at one point this year, and I'm finishing the year at 0.1. And I'm very happy about that. I would like it to stay at 0. The other problem though, I still have yet to break par. And I am
Which is
incredibly
crazy to
pissed
me.
about it. My last 4 rounds have all been 1 over. All 3 of those 4 I was 1 under and then I doubled. Idiot. Like I can do it, but there's like some piece missing. And I got a little bit of that. Like I found a little bit of it with Lucas. He gave me some very, very helpful wedge advice. I found some equipment that I freaking love that has really helped because it just unlocks a little bit of like fearlessness for some things. Like I'll pin hunt pins that you shouldn't hunt, and it's been working out. So that's a big one, is like to break par, but also to break par consistently. Like there's no reason why every 4th round I don't shoot under par. Like I don't have an excuse to not do that. But yeah, I mean, my golf goals though, Johnny, revolve around other people, honestly. Like,
Yeah, making other players better.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I would play once a month if Letitia Beck wins the LPGA championship next year. Right? Like,
Yeah, I understand that.
that'd be cool.
See, I look at it. So I'm looking at my gin handicap. I started the year. Let's just look at this really quick, and then we're gonna wrap this show up. But I started the year like a 0.3, and now I'm a 1.7. I played 14 times this year. My average score is 77.7.
14 times.
Scores range from 83 to 71. And here's my goal. My goal is like next year is rebuilding year for me. So I'm going to be 50 next December. And I want to play the best golf of my life in my 50s. That means try to qualify for senior AMs. Like I want to go in hard on 50s golf. So next year for me is all about getting healthy, doing some fundamental, tweaks to my swing just to make sure I'm not hurting myself. Hopefully the shoulder injury actually helps my swing out, because my swing has just been an absolute, paper mache of moves for the last, like, I don't know, 15 years. But I'd like to be able to be, I guess the word is competitive. I want to be competitive in my 50s where I could show up. Like we were playing golf with, this is earlier in the year, early in the summer. I went out with some buddies. We were up in San Francisco. We were playing, and I think I ended up shooting like 80 that day or whatever. I got beat by 9 shots or 8 shots to somebody. I'm like, I shouldn't lose that. And it actually pissed me off. I was like, I know I'm like got one shoulder, but it's like, I can't have this anymore. So I told myself like, never again. I'm not losing that bad to somebody that I know I should be beating or keeping up with ever again. Yeah. So this year has been a humbling year, I'd say. Actually, the last 2 years have been pretty humbling for me golf-wise, because I just haven't had time to practice play, been hurt. I'm playing probably the worst golf I've played. The last 2 years, it's probably the worst golf I've played in 30 years, probably. So I'm just looking forward to, like, getting there. It's not really an equipment thing. It's not like I'm going to go see a coach, and I want to create some new habits. And like to your point, Maddie, said about getting stronger. Like I couldn't get any for my size. I mean, 165 pounds. I feel like, I'm as strong as I'm going to get. I don't want to, it's not like I want to bulk up or anything, but what I do want to learn how to do, and Jake, I've been, kind of watching you with your speed. Like I want to learn how to swing fast. That's one thing I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
We were never taught that when we were kids. Like you're taught when you're skinny, like I was, and small, you have to swing as hard as you can to keep up, and that's how you learn how to draw the ball. You get the club flinging in from your right foot to get the ball going like this. Like that's how we learned how to hit it far. Yeah. But these days it's different. And what kills me is like going out with someone like Jake or somebody like that, or any better player, and I'm like 15, 20 yards behind people, and it's not because I'm short. It's because I'm not optimized. Like I'm not hitting the center of the club face anymore. Yeah. It's like everything's a glancing blow. Everything's thin or off the heel. I'm just not striking it solidly. So like my biggest goal next year is get to a position where no matter what I do, if I show up at the bare bones minimum, I'm hitting it out of the center of the club face a lot. Because when I do that, I tend to play really, really well. So anyway, it's kind of a scattered show. We just kind of did like a kind of a recorded FaceTime here.
That's what we do.
But this show we'll call it Marker 1 for Maddie, because it's going to be her evolution. So we're getting her face on the show right now, because come hell or high water, come next October, you better know what Ventus Red Velo Plus means. You better know what the M grind is. You better know what like.
I'll start studying now.
You better be dialed, because if you are, can you imagine, Jake? Can you imagine like at the end of next year if she becomes like just serviceable at equipment? Just for like, hey, Maddie, we can't go. Can you go to PXG and go test the driver? She comes back, she's like, yeah, the center of gravity's in a good spot. Like, I like this. I did that. I moved the weights around. Like, if I would keel over and be like, we're the greatest golf equipment media company the world has ever seen. If she levels up, and you do your thing.
I was gonna say that's a lot of pressure, because you're kind of you've said that that's my responsibility.
Well, no, but that is your responsibility. But can you imagine how dope the situation would be if all of a sudden Maddie's like gearhead number 1?
Yeah, I can tell you right now that after a day and a half, it's gonna happen. I'm not even kind of worried about it.
Like I can't wait for the day like she'll send me a picture she saw on WRX. She's like, oh my god, Rory switched irons. I'll be like, oh there she is. There we go. We're locked in. We're good.
That's the DiCaprio like on the couch like up.
Yep. That would make me so happy as an older statesman here, to let you kids take this platform and run real fast with it in about 2 or 3 years would just absolutely warm my heart. So as daddy's getting old, run out of gas, run out of patience.
Please don't ever refer to yourself.
I did that just for you. Anyway, that's episode 305 of Fully Equipped. I have no idea what that show is about. No clue. We just talked and babbled. My dinner's been sitting in the lobby now for an hour, so I'm gonna go try and eat that. Maddie McClurg, we're very proud of you, girl. Big things in store for you. No pressure, Jake.
Happy to be here. Happy to be a part of the team and to learn, and hopefully maybe some other people will learn along the way with me.
Well, how do people give us your handle? How do people find you on the social medias?
It's just my name, at Maddie McClurg. I keep it simple.
And Jake
tagged me in a couple of posts today. So
Jake is at Made for the Range, and I am at Johnny _Wunder on the Instagram. Go to at Fully Equipped handle as well. Lots of cool golf content. But do you want to know a cool stat really quick? We're in with this. This is how I know what we're doing is actually working. Our gear coverage year over year from the last Ryder Cup. Listen to this stat. We had 9,500% growth on Fully Equipped and all gear coverage for the Ryder Cup versus Rahm. 9,500%.
9,500%.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's insane, Johnny.
I can't even like wrap my head around it.
It's wild.
That's a wild
number.
Wild. So that just means what we're doing here, kids, it's really working.
Yeah.
It's really working. Some fun stuff happening.
We're doing
it. At golf.com, Fully Equipped, whatever you want to call it. All right, kids. That's a wrap.
I'm starving. Yeah.
Maddie, thanks for having me on.
I'm starving. Fun. We're all hungry.
Yeah, let's get some food.
That's a wrap on Fully Equipped. We are out of here from our respective hotel rooms.